with a little help from Sally and the girls, I decided to start with some random facts about Joe. Joe loved roller coasters. On their many trips to California, he would always stop at the state line just to ride the roller coaster. He was lighthearted and fun. When they'd go to Disneyland, he'd plan out the order of the rides just so they could avoid the lines. Joe was an athlete. He did ride the Rockies 3 times, which I found was a 532-mile ride over 6 or 7 days. He and Sally ran the Boulder several times and did several 5 and 10Ks. He loved to take pictures. He loved good barbecue. He loved movies. And he loved nature. He'd have picnics with Sally and the girls, and Lauren would tell me he'd always find a log so they could cross the river. Inevitably, one of them would fall in or get their socks wet or something like that. He loved to watch the Tatanka, which, if you haven't seen Dances with Wolves, that's the buffalo. He loved dancing, and he really surprised people at how good he was at his first dance with Lauren at our wedding. He was never afraid to try anything, and encouraged his family to do the same. He was kind, gentle, and accepting. I remember when I asked him if I could marry his daughter, he felt like he'd raked me over the coals and really asked the tough questions. And I always thought he was so nice about it. And he never made me feel like a son-in-law, or like a son. He never gave up, and he would always say, "Stay on target." And a great example, which Father John brought up earlier, was one of his last goals, to meet his grandson, which he did. Joe lived life to the fullest. He was the 3rd of 11 kids, so as you can imagine, he learned about sharing and sacrifice at an early age. He changed diapers of his siblings, and he took off his sophomore year of college so he could take care of his mother, who was recovering from a heart attack. He worked here for over 20 years, and he would sacrifice for anyone, never turn anyone away who was in need, and always find a way to help, even if it was just something small. He loved his job, and he loved the people here. In fact, before every vacation, the family all knew when they were driving out of town where they'd stop. Even at 4 a.m., they'd always stop here. Joe and Sally were made for each other. I've never met a couple that loved spending time together. He'd do anything for Sally. He would even count the minutes and seconds that they'd been married. And he'd show up randomly and say, "Today's our 2000th day we've been married." Flowers. He had nicknames: Super Sal, Sarasota Cracker, Molly Bolt, and Lauren Begorin. He loved his girls, and I got to see firsthand how they just light him up when they were all in a room together. He always encouraged them to chase their dreams, never discouraged them from trying anything. He'd sacrifice for them. He drove Sarah all the way to Boulder for guitar lessons so she could be a rock star. He drove Molly back and forth to San Diego in a little Suzuki Samurai. It was small, loud, it had the rag top, and of course, no AC. And for Lauren, he dropped everything to pick her up when she needed to go to the doctor for emergency surgery. He even beat me there. But Joe wasn't just a man that loved his family, he was a spiritual leader. His faith always guided him, and he would always say, God will take care of us. He'd focus, even in his last weeks, on the little miracles, and just the things that God was doing in their lives to get them through the tough times. In fact, my friend and pastor, Pat Barnes, said that I hope that I can face death with as much courage and grace as Joe. I told Joe several times that he set the bar really high for me as a husband, father, and a man. But at the same time, he gave me a great example to follow. Joe left a strong impression and a great legacy on the people that he met, on his siblings, on his church, on his wife, his daughters.